Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. Last time we set up a little aluminum setup just to automate our clad sheets and casings just so we had a supply for our dimensional depot, and also with those newfound aluminum products unlocked a bunch of milestones in tier 7 and tier 8. But in order to progress further in this game, for all of our plans to come to fruition, which I had mentioned last time, we need a lot of aluminum. And I mean a lot of aluminum. How much is a lot? 6,000 per minute. Now, I'm going to save actually doing 6,000 per minute for when we have Mark 6 belts, because right now, it's not very feasible, you know? But we are going to be automating half of that, because we don't have Mark 3 miners, so if we go for Mark 2 miners, then it's very easy to just upgrade the miners and build all the machines and then later upgrade the miners, and it's a very easy upgrade system. So what do we have to do? Essentially, my plan is similarly to how we did the diluted packaged fuel at our power plant. Similarly to that, I want to contain the entire aluminum process, at least from bauxite to scrap, and maybe into ingots, I don't know, but I want to do it into one blueprint. Because that way we just have to That way we just have to feed raw resources in, and then the products will come out. And it also means it's very easy to do a small scale test, because if I just go out into the wilderness, find a bauxite node and some water and some coal, well not coal because we're using alternates, but I'll get onto that. But if I do that, I can just go out into the world and do a quick test on one of them, and that way I know all of them work. Hey, have you considered subscribing and maybe leaving a like or commenting? That'd be really cool, and it would let me know that people actually enjoy this. Or even just a like, because if you don't want me bothering you every week, that's understandable. But anyway, yeah. So, what is the system we're doing? Well, first of all, we're going to need oil for this, because we're using electrode aluminum scrap, which is an alternate where instead of using coal to get the aluminum scrap from the solution, you use petroleum coke. Now, this is because coal is useful in the future for big steel and also diamonds, so I kind of want to conserve coal, and it only takes 600 oil to get enough petroleum coke for what we need. And we're also going to be using sloppy alumina because it is just a better way of getting alumina solution. And then obviously we're going to be using the pure aluminum ingot recipe in the smelter, just for ease of use, honestly. And that is the whole loop that I'm going to be trying to fit in a blueprint here, which shouldn't be too hard. So the inputs are going to have to be 200 bauxite, 60 water, because we are recycling water from here, and also apparently 80 petroleum coke, which is a bit of a weird number, but we can do it with the division of the numbers we're using. And then we're going to just take, how much scrap is it? 400 scrap, and we can get it in here probably pretty easily. So yeah, I have to make this blueprint, but that is the basic idea of how it's going to work. I will show you when I have all of the machines fit in, and yes, we are going to be using power shards. We have a lot of slugs ready to turn into power shards. In fact, I think they might be in the dimensional depot, so I can show you. Yeah, purple power slugs, that is 200 power shards. That is 6, and that's 14, that's quite a lot, and we can always go and get more if we don't have enough, but this is, I think, a good use of it, because aluminum's tricky, and making it easier in any way is always good. I could do it without, but it would make the blueprint a bit weirder, a bit harder, and I'd probably have to put 3 refineries in instead, which just isn't going to work. So yeah, lots to do, lots to consider, lots to organise. This is the current iteration we're working with. We've got the water coming in with a valve to limit it, because we only need 60, so it's set. We've got the belt bringing the bauxite, we got the petroleum coke, and then the water gets recycled in the top, because once again, pipe priorities, make sure this is always empty. This is basically the same thing we had going on in our little setup over there, except electrode scrap. So yeah, then the scrap comes out of here, scutes into these smelters, and each of these blocks should make 200 ingots, which means we need 30 of them. Which is honestly not that many. You can really fit a lot into blueprints if you try. Oh, and something else. I have to do this fairly quickly, I think, because all my blueprints got obliterated. I remade one because I just needed it, but all my blueprints got obliterated. I think it was when I let my friend join my world, so beware if you're playing on 1.2, maybe don't go in multiplayer if you have lots of blueprints that you care about. I wasn't that bothered because I didn't spend ages on all my blueprints, but it was still a little bit annoying. But anyway, yeah. This is the current iteration. I think it looks okay, but there might be a couple things we can do aesthetics wise, because right now it's very functional in terms of colour, right? Oh, and I need to actually connect the alumina solution round. That's something. But other than that, it's basically done. Okay, this is the aesthetics done as far as I'm concerned. It's very simple. We just got a couple barriers, we got walls, and on this side I just made this coated concrete and encased the output belts and put one light there. I might add some beams on the side, but this is it. Basically, this is the whole system enclosed, and I will literally just need 30 of these and everything will be good in the world, and we will have all the aluminum we could ever need. We technically only need 15 for our 3,000 goal of right now, but like I said, we're going to build the whole thing so that in future we can just upgrade miners, right? So I'm just going to name this, and there it is, saved. And that on the side is essentially our entire shopping list for this build. There's also some other things I need to scroll down for, because there's like a crystal oscillator, you know. So hang on, let me. Yeah, see, there's I need 30 power shards, steel pipes, motors, alclad aluminum sheets, you know, the works. But this is basically all of the work in the actual factory done, because now I can just mindlessly spam them. However, I can mindlessly spam them, but I need to feed them with items. So I put here how much we need, right? Our requirements. And so what we need to do now is get our train blueprints back, which I'm going to redesign because I didn't like them that much, so I'm kind of happy that they went away. I'm going to redesign a little bit and then venture off into the world and find ourselves 5 pure nodes of bauxite and gather those up in a train, and then that will be all good. And then what we're going to do, don't worry about that, then what we're going to do is we're going to go somewhere else in the world, which I'm thinking about the Gold Coast, which is just down here, but I don't know. But all we need to do is find a pure oil node, or 2 normal, 4 impure, or even a resource well, to be honest. A resource well could do us. But we need to find 600 oil per minute somewhere for our petroleum coke, and then we will, on site, like where that oil is, refine it into petroleum coke, put that on a train, and bring it over to our aluminum setup as well. And then we're just going to pipe the water on site. So we're going to have to do it near the coast or near water. There are a couple places we could go. I'm thinking about the swamp, but then again it's hell. But I don't know, there's a little bit of bauxite there, it would be pretty easy. But the bauxite's in the middle, right? If I'm thinking about it, the bauxite's in the middle, and I don't want to I don't want to have to build like to one side or to another side, you know what I'm saying? Because then I'm wasting a bunch of space in the swamp. But I don't know, I'm really the only thing that we need is water, because we're training everything else in. Training? That's definitely not how you say it. But we're training everything else in, however you say that. So we basically just need a lot of water. The more and more I talk, the Gold Coast seems more and more like a better option, because the Gold Coast is just oil and water, and that is it. And as long as I don't cover the oil nodes too much, right, then we can just build however we want. And from earlier escapades, I have a train that goes over here, because I was thinking about, what was I doing? I don't know. It was something to do with, I don't know what it was. But yeah, basically there's just a lot of oil here, and so we would be covered. How much is this? I'm going to build a resource well extractor and have a look. Oh, hello. Yep, Gold Coast was a choice. We've got a resource well of oil, which is going to give us 900 oil per minute, which is more than enough for all of our petroleum coke needs. And so, I started work. We've got the first set, so to speak. This is the first set of refineries because it turns heavy oil residue into petroleum coke, and luckily the ratio is literally 1:1. Makes 40, needs 40, everything is good in the world. So this is the first set. So now I need to make the second set, which I'm going to do out front here. And then we can build the train station, and boy, that's bright tonight. But then we can build the train station, and then we are done here because we can just ship it away. Oh, but something else. I wanted to use the... I'll fix that. I wanted to use the remaining oil, because we have 300 per minute, to make packaged fuel, because... Alright, you gotta believe me when I say I do not know what the hell is happening with my recording. I need to check OBS to see if it's just losing its mind, but the game volume has gone out of whack again, so you'll get voiceover. Basically, what past me was trying to say over the sounds of a torrential downpour enough to level a small city is oil work. We have refineries. Refineries are overclocked to save space. They make all the petroleum coke we will need for the final spec overclocked. If we didn't overclock them, they would make enough for the current phase, but I'm lazy and I don't want to change it, so they're just overclocked right now. We have power as well for the heavy oil residue refineries and the petroleum coke refineries, and then we have an awesome sink for all the things, and then we have a train station and obviously a master switch. So that's basically it. God, I hate this software. I don't hate OBS. It's actually really good, but I don't know why it's doing this. It could just literally be me, but I refuse to take blame. No, I don't. It's probably me. I probably fiddled with the settings. But I changed it. I know I changed it near the end of this episode. Don't worry. I know that because I looked at some of this and I went in the audio settings and I reset them to normal. So it should be fine later on. We'll both see. I'm not even kidding you. I must be the goat of Satisfactory, because I just turned it on like 3 seconds ago, and it's fine. It's perfect. I am the best. Thank you. Yes, I am. So, petroleum coke. Done. That's... Yeah, like I said, the thing happened. That's a major... hello, texture glitch. That's a major component of our aluminum dealt with now, because I just need to ship this away, and then everything is good. Because then the only things we need is bauxite and water, and we're going to be getting water on site, but we need a lot of bauxite, and there is nowhere in the world that has 6,000 bauxite in one place. So we need to do more prospecting, although it will be less intense. Hi, me again to explain over the torrential downpour. I genuinely don't know why rain is set to be so loud by default. Oh my god. It's just the rain, but anyway, yes. Basically, we have all the coke, that's great, but we need bauxite, and there is nowhere in the world with enough bauxite as we need 6,000. And secondly, in one place, so we're going to need to make more trains to go and get said bauxite. That's basically all I'm saying. But once again, the goddamn rain is so loud. Okay, we need to talk desperately. This is the most 5D chess move I have ever played. I was just looking around at all the bauxite nodes, because there's loads in the Titan Forest, and there's like 3 just over here, and that's really good. And I was like, oh, what's this water node? So I brought down the power from the Aluminium setup, and you'll never guess that this resource well is exactly the amount of water we need for the Aluminium setup. It is literally 1,800, and it is right next to the rest of the bauxite. So I think we've found our location. Oh my god. How? I did not plan this at all. That is such a coincidence. Oh my god. No, but that's great. Is it all pure? Is that... Yeah, I think it's all pure. Yeah. And if we ever need nitrogen gas, there is loads of nitrogen gas over there, because I think this is all pure as well. And so that means that if we ever need nitrogen, this is really close to infrastructure, isn't it? And this is also a ridiculous amount. Look at all this. But anyway, yeah. What this is amazing. Because now I have to do way less like searching, because we've just got the water ready to go. It's crazy. But yeah, right, I need to get back on track. Like I said, I was looking for bauxite. I need to look at more of these. So, what purity are these ones actually? I've taken the plunge, and this is now officially where we're going to be building, because I've just blasted about 1 million trees into the abyss. So, I'm kind of stuck here now. You know, I'm not about to just go, oh, I don't want to build here anymore. Screw this section of the forest, I guess, you know? That's not what I'm doing. So, we're building here. I'll get rid of this. If I can. I really hope I can open this, because otherwise it's going to be really annoying. if that was like I don't know, like a superposition oscillator or something late game and crazy, and I couldn't get rid of it, that would be rather annoying, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Anyway. Yeah. This is where we're building. And I've also decided which nodes we're using. If I just pull up the map and see if I can remember. Obviously we're using these. This is 2,400. And then combined with this, these together are 2,100. So that's 4,500. And then there's 2 here, which I don't have in range of either of the radar towers, because I set one up here next to the geyser just so we could actually scan there. But there's 2 there, and that's a impure and a normal, so that's an extra 900. But that means we're down 600. So my plan is to belt this one, which we're currently using for our aluminum setup, down here, and then use, which one is it? This one temporarily, belt it over, and when we get Mark 3 miners, use this one here instead, because it's a waste of a normal node overall. We were only using a normal node because we don't have Mark 3 miners. It would be an impure node, but you know. Bleh. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I don't know if I should pave this area first or go and train first, but you'll see, because that will be the next clip. It has been a very long time since I've recorded anything, for many reasons, one of which being the game has just been crashing because experimental,
And you may notice, if you have very good eyes and I happen to turn in that direction, a strange circle of trains, and there's another one on the other side of the mountain where I've been doing the train lines, which I'll get to in a bit. But basically, there's a bug in 1.2 where whenever you dismantle a train that you've been in, it just crashes the game. It doesn't matter how long you wait, it doesn't matter if you go into a different train, it just crashes the game. So I've just had to remove them all so it works. But we do have a train line now of sorts. We have the petroleum coke brought through the rocks because it was easier than going around. We've got a tunnel that brings it over from the coast over there to here, and this is just a little balancer because you can see here we have 4 petroleum coke stations but 5 bauxite stations. We needed 5 bauxite stations because we needed 5 belts, because it's 3,000 on every belt, we want 600. This, we needed 5 belts because if you remember the number of rows and things we're doing is 6 rows of 5s, right? So, excuse me, basically we just need the right number of belts, and this is how we got it. But this is already done, like I said. Anyway, yes, you might notice also that I'm sickly and terrible. I don't know why my sinuses are exploding, but I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's just like a weird thing. It shouldn't be happening. It's spring now. We're out of the winter cold season. This is stupid. Anyway, yes. Moving on. We now need to do the second half of the train shenanigans, which is acquiring the bauxite from the swamp. Because pretty easily, like this is not hard. We can just go straight this way. We just need to go up a bit, and then we can go straight this way. And like, look, this. See, we can go straight for ages, and the swamp is right there. But then we'll just need to turn this way, or maybe we could even thread the needle through there. But I don't think so. But anyway, then we turn and we turn. Whoa, lag, and then we're here. But we need to get down, so we're going to be using, not falling into the void. We're going to be using another, like I will show you in a second over there, train spiral with the appropriately named blueprint. Which, if you don't know what a train spiral is, it's basically, if you don't want massive ramps everywhere, it's how you go down. It's just the train does circles to go down. Pretty simple, but good blueprint to have, and will save us a giant ugly ramp. Because we need to go right there, so if we had a ramp, like if we started a ramp there, and we're trying to get there, we'd miss it, like end up like there, and then have to come back round to this, which is not convenient. And then we also need to go into the centre there, but that would be on the way, but you get what I'm saying. Anyhow, yes, I should do that, so I'm going to do that. Whoa, it has been quite a bit of work to get over here, but it's been really fun, and now we have lag, apparently, but we also have one station over there for the 2 bauxite nodes, and a station over here for these 3, and it all comes together in just this one train. Every carriage should be delivering 300 per minute to the factory, and then the nodes that are on site will supply the rest. Why is that there? But yeah, can I also say, I really like how these came out design-wise. I've just been doing absolutely random like shapes, and I think it turned out really nice. So yeah, go me. Please. Okay, anyway, yes, now that we have this, all of the resources coming through on this here train, we should be able to build the actual factory, because since it's all blueprinted, we really just need to lay out all the blueprints, connect the resource well pressurizer and make that look nice, collect the nodes that are actually on site and bring them together, and then we're done. Okay,
It is now time for the very, very strenuous task of factory building. I'm being sarcastic because it's all blueprinted, and I just need to spam blueprints and then connect all the belts, and then we'll be done. So, anyway, yeah, water, look at that, isn't that crazy? And I brought it over. Wow, this is not going to be used for anything, just so you know. This is just here because drone ports look really cool, in my humble opinion. So, anyway, yeah. Roughly, what the next hour looks like for me is... riveting, I know. That's crazy. I don't know how I can barely contain my excitement of that. Truly, something. I don't know. My brain's not working properly right now. I'm just gonna do this thing. All right. I've only put down 5 of them, but I'm just gonna say I think this is gonna look really cool when they're all here and then the roof's over. And I'm back on the regular branch where I can control the lighting with the mods, so it doesn't go randomly dark and all weird. So when that happens, I think it'll look really cool. But I mean, look at that. I mean, it's been ages since I designed this blueprint, and it still looks great, which is a good thing. But yeah, we've just got one space on the side of all of them for the logistics, and the rest of it's just going to be blueprint spam to the horizon, but not that much because it's only going to be this long. If I measure, it's going to be about... they are level, right? Awesome. I need to make auto connect as well. So let me do that. Do that. So that's 3. And then we run out of stuff in the dimensional depot. But you can see it won't be that long, because it's only going to be 6, that's 3, so it'll be double that over, and then that's the factory. So, I'm going to do a magical cut, which will save you so much time. How have I got electricity? That's very weird. Oh, it's where the train tracks underneath. Right. There we go, that should be better. Oh, right. Well, belts, lots of them, and pipes, lots of them too. They are connected, and we have aluminum. However, you may notice we don't have all of the bauxite because I haven't connected the miners because I keep putting it off. I'll just get rid of these. And also the train is called Problem because I had spent like literally 2 hours trying to figure out why it wasn't working. Because all the trains tell you, because they're the most helpful things ever, they just say, oh, signalling error is preventing the train reaching the next station. They don't say anything else apart from that. And I spent 2 hours looking and replacing all the signals and being like, okay, so what's the issue? And then I looked, I stepped away and I came back, and the train station was backwards. So it couldn't get to it. Not the freight platforms, by the way. Like, it was literally... okay, up here. It was literally like this. It was like that, and then the platforms were like on the front of it, like this. I swear to God, you can't make this up. I just accidentally placed it the wrong way around so it couldn't pass to it. Anyway, yeah. So, we need the rest of the bauxite now. I can't put it off any longer. There's literally nothing else to do. I mean, I could belt the aluminum up and set up the sinks and the bins in the train station, but I won't. I will do this. I'm going to do this, and it's going to happen because I'm going over to the nodes and I'm going to start doing it, okay? Okay, I did it. I did it. I didn't put it off again, and it's all here. And wow, look at that. Look at all of those ingots. Wow. Yeah, I know. Exciting stuff. But we are now actually, as you can see by the stopped belts over there, like getting full up on ingots on many of these, specifically those ones, these and that one. This one is the last bastion of not stopping.
So I need to build the buffers, the sinks, and the train station for exporting this. And right now, this is 3,000 aluminum ingots per minute, which I think is the highest items per minute I have ever made, which is pretty crazy. So, yeah. I'm just gonna keep checking everything because I am so afraid that it's gonna break, because aluminum is messy, we all know this, but like, yeah, there's no water, see? It's all weird, I don't know. I don't know. What? Oh! Oh, no, I understand, it's fine. You see, there are no belts going to these last bits because these last three that are all yellow, they are all the other 3,000 that we'll be making once we get Mark 3 miners and Mark 6 belts. Yes, okay, sure. Everything is fine. Don't worry. But yes, aluminum, storage and sinking, and then a train station. Why are you doing this? God damn it, I need to go and check the power plant. Okay, I have been busy. We have a lot of things that I have done. Primarily, I have made this, though. I have taken the nitrogen and the aluminum over and just set them up ready for export. Whoa, lag spike. Anyway, yeah, I've set them up ready for export throughout the world. And that's basically all that's happening here. It's pretty simple. It's just the same as we've got going on everywhere else. But the thing I have done, which I'm excited to show you, is I have finished the aesthetic for the actual factory entirely, and I am not facing that way, so it's a surprise. So now I'm going to do a really cinematic thing